This story is fun for me, you know. When I got traded, so I had to pitch in the next day. Pedro Martinez coming Iron Pit for the Phillies. They put all my stuff, so my pitch, my everything when I front. My favorite players, Pedro Martinez. Everybody started laughing. That's that for me.
Carlos Carrasco, his idol Pedro Martinez, got to face him in the next night after he was traded to the Indians organization. Pedro is a nice player to emulate, especially for Carrasco.
Well, you look at Pedro Martinez and Carlos Carrasco, they're kind of similar in some ways. I mean, they both have good fastballs, both have good breaking balls. But you look at Pedro Martinez right there, and his breaking ball when he was in his prime against the AL hitters, it was ridiculous. And hopefully Carlos can get to that point at some time in his career and be the dominating force that we expect him to be.
That would be great. The Indians would love that. All right, let's move once again now down to the single-A, double-A level, where, first off, Jason Kipnis was drafted last year by the Tribe as an outfielder. They moved him to second base. The transition has gone seamlessly. He's just been promoted to Akron. But for our focus on the future, Kinston radio man Matt Friedman had a chance to catch up with him. Let's learn more about Jason Kipnis.
Coming out of Arizona State, playing in Mahoning Valley last season, you were an outfielder. Then during fall instructional camp, you got converted to a second baseman. How's that transition going? How comfortable are you feeling at second base right now?
It's getting there. It's still a work in progress. I still got loads of ground balls to put in, loads of time to put in, but you know what? It's coming along. It's something I had to wrap my mind around, get comfortable with, and just accept that it's probably the better position for me, and I can offer more value at that position than I can in the outfield. So, and I've finally come to terms with that, and you know what? It's starting to become a little bit more fun, and that's been huge for me.
And now also, tell us a little bit about growing up. You grew up near Chicago, Illinois. Were you a North Side fan or a South Side fan growing up there in Chicago? And also, you're now playing, obviously, for the Cleveland organization. Did you have any ill will towards the Cleveland organization before?
No, zero ill will towards Cleveland. I like watching the Indians. They were a fun team before in the 90s, and still always fun to watch. You know what? I've always been a huge Chicago fan, so it's hard. I've always liked even the Blackhawks, the Bulls, Bears, every single team. I like every sport, but if I had to pick, it'd probably be the Cubs. I think they're just the lovable losers, I guess you have to say, but they're a fun team to watch, and so. But I do like the White Sox also.
Now, also, Jason has a football background as well, playing football in high school, and you set a bunch of school records as a wide receiver there. What was your first love? Was it baseball or was it football?
I didn't start playing football till sophomore year in high school. I played soccer before that, but baseball's always come first in my life. I think a lot of players can say the same who are playing right now. I think just since T-ball, when we were the youngest ones we could play, baseball's always come first, and it's always been the closest one to the heart.
Now let's talk a little bit about your college experience, first at Kentucky and then Arizona State. Kind of compare those experiences for us and tell us what it was like playing down there at Arizona State.
Kentucky's cold, ASU's warm. That's a big difference. You know, I learned a lot of Kentucky. That was my introduction into college baseball, and where I kind of learned how to play the game. I did a lot of watching when I redshirted my freshman year, took a lot in, and then by the time I got to ASU, it's time to take all that I've learned from all the stages and put it on the field now. And played with a great group of guys at ASU, tons of talent, tons of just experienced players that you could even learn from every day, even when you think you know it all. But no, both great schools to go to, great baseball programs, and just ASU did worlds for me in terms of just confidence and learning the game.
Coming out of Arizona State, selected in the second round in 2009, talk about kind of some of the great things that come with that, and then some of the pressure that comes with being a second round pick.
You know what, the most pressure that you can get from being a second round pick is this pressure you put on yourself. I mean, and that's always going to be there whether you're the last pick in the draft or the first pick. I think at this level now, you demand it from yourself to go out there and play well, and you can't really pay attention to the outside influences. All those can do is hurt you, whether it's just people saying stuff, negative or positive. And so the most pressure is just you want to do well for yourself, and you want to play the game hard and play the game the right way, and that's the biggest thing you do.
Now, Jason, you grew up in Chicago, but now you make your off-season home in Scottsdale, Arizona. Was it the weather that kept you out there? Was it that you like going to school down there? What made you decide to move there to Arizona?
Both had factors. You know, I have my friends at home, but they're on to different things right now. Baseball's not a big part of their life anymore. So being in Arizona, living it, I'm able to train year round. I think 80 degrees in the winter, 70 degrees in the winter, and you could still play outside. And plus, you're around all the other players who are living there in the off season, so you're kind of situating yourself in a place where they're doing the same thing. They have to get up and work out. They have to get up and hit, and so it's just good to be around a bunch of guys who are also working towards the same goal you are.
Well, from former STO intern, thanks, Matt, for that interview. You know, awesome job. You look at Jason Kipnis, though, and it's awesome to see a kid so grounded and level-headed at such a young age. He came from Arizona State. You know, we kind of have a lot in common. I went to Arizona State. That's where I got my degree from. He went to Arizona State. He loves the lovable losers and the Cubs. That's who I grew up liking, only being from Arizona. But the best thing that I like about this kid is that he does everything that the Indians are asking for. He transferred from the outfield to the infield, and he's done a great job.
He really has, and that's one to watch. Ever since the Indians picked him, I thought it was a great draft pick, and he's shown you that he can go from outfield to second base. Loves the game, and that's almost the gym rat version of baseball. That's Jason Kipnis. All right, we'll take a break. When we come back, still more to give you, including a check of the standings for all the minor league teams. Also, where the teams will be playing this week as you look at Crash the Parrot leading the charge at Huntington Park. We're getting ready to bring you our final thoughts. Make sure you stay tuned.
Beautiful. 26, 36 feet up.
Here's a look at the standings now for the Indians minor league clubs. Akron was in 6th place, but they've won 12 in a row, just lost on Sunday. So now they're in 3rd place in the Eastern League West, so they're moving up there. Columbus has been in 1st all season. There's Kinston in 3rd. Lake County's been in 1st place. They love the Midwest League. And how about Mahoning Valley? They start this Friday, and they'll be at home next week in Niles. So get ready to see Mahoning Valley. Here's the schedule for you. Columbus just finished the home series with Norfolk, and now we're heading to Pawtucket. Akron travels to New Hampshire and Portland. Kinston heads to Lynchburg and Salem. Lake County on the road at West Michigan before coming home for Lansing. Fireworks on Friday and Saturday. And Mahoning Valley kicks off their season on Friday in Jamestown. Welcome back to Indians Minor League Magazine. About a minute or so left here on the show. And Jason, once again, the Indians' first-round draft pick, Drew Pomerantz. Thought we'd spend the end of the show talking about him. You're a left-handed pitcher as well. You know, you went to college. You went through the minor leagues. You made it to the majors. This kid, highly touted, 5th pick overall. What do you expect from him, and how quickly do you think he can make it to Cleveland?
Well, I think the Indians are very excited about a lefty because now you have a 1-2 punch coming up through the system in Alex White and Pomerantz. And what you're looking for is just for him to be himself. Just go out there, pitch every 5th day, get the experience in the minor leagues, and then, you know, it's going to be based on how he progresses through the system. I mean, it's all about what he does now once he signs. And I think, you know, you look at him in college, he dominated in the SEC, and now he's going to be able to face some of the best players in professional baseball. And I see him moving up through the ranks very quickly and possibly catching up with Alex White and being that 1-2 punch in Columbus very soon.
It'd be great to see. Nick Hagedorn's doing a nice job in Akron, too, the player the Indians got last year in that trade with Victor Martinez. You've seen a lot more college kids being taken, too, now than 20, 25 years ago. Very rarely would you see a college kid so highly touted. Now, it seems it's all about the college kids. All right, we're out of time here with Indians Minor League Magazine. For Jason Stanford, I'm Al Pulowski. We'll talk to you again together on the Tribe Report. Make sure that you watch us for all our shows right here on SportsTime Ohio. Meanwhile, check this out. The Frederick Keys manager, Orlando Gomez, going off on the umps in a game against Kinston. He put on quite a show.